Happy Thursday, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on our webinar today titled How Smart Scheduling Software is Improving Efficiency and Profit for Health and Life Science Companies. My name is Marshall Brooks. I'm a member of the marketing team here at SUMO Scheduler. I'm so glad you could join us. Our host today is going to be one of our fantastic account directors, Miss Carrie Brooks. No relation, just in case you were wondering. Carrie is, like I said, one of our fantastic account directors, and she has a lot of experience and has worked very closely with many of our clients in the HLS sector, ranging from folks like AstraZeneca, Medtronic, Mia Aesthetics, Blue Cross Blue Shield, as well as our featured client for our webinar today, Umbo from Australia. She deals a lot with our clients in this space, working with patient scheduling and insurance consults. She's worked from many angles, from provider, manufacturer, insurance companies. As I said, she has a wealth of experience in this space. And I hope that the information contained in this webinar today is helpful for you. And I hope you have a lot of great questions come the end at our Q&A time. At this time, I want to turn it over to Carrie and say welcome to everybody. And I hope you enjoy this presentation. Carrie, take it away.
Thanks, Marshall. I appreciate it. Again, thanks for everybody for joining. We're going to go ahead and jump into the presentation today. I promise not to bore you with a lot of slides today, but want to give you some background before we jump into the demo. So we did our introductions today. We're going to cover SUMO overview, look at some common use cases in the HLS industry, and then, of course, get to that demo. If you don't mind holding your questions till the end, we will have some time for Q&A. Perfect. So just a little background about SUMO. We are a native scheduling tool on the Salesforce platform. So with that being said, it's a managed package installed into your Salesforce org. And as you can see at the bottom, we have many verticals that we cover, customers that range from small business to enterprise, and below are a few of them. SUMO is extremely flexible and adaptable to meet not only inbound, but also outbound scheduling needs. These are the different interaction points, but today we're going to focus on how patients can be booked for initial consultations, follow-ups, and recurring appointments. So SUMO being built on the Salesforce platform brings our powerful tech to our customers. In the background, we have these engines that make it happen. In addition, all data is HIPAA compliant, and even for Umbo, it meets their Privacy Act of 1988. The out-of-box application is easy to implement and administer, and we can complement any tech stack with our API that's available as well. So here are some real-life statistics that we have from polling our customers. So with this, our customers have seen patient and client satisfaction go up, employee productivity go up, appointment bookings go up, and then cancellations going down. This is big for tracking KPIs and ROIs so that you can look through and see if process improvements need to be made. And with our out-of-box and custom reporting, all of this is available to you in your Salesforce org. So we are going to send the presentation over after the demo today, but just wanted to, so you can look at all of these, but just wanted to hit on the top 3 points here. So we are an enterprise platform solution. So as we've said, everything's going to be located in Salesforce, so no connectors are needed. We also have a right-size solution. So with that, SUMO's flexible product package and pricing can fit your needs. We have anywhere from customers with maybe a couple handful of users to over 20,000 users. We also have data capture. So with that, we'd have all of your automated data captured in your Salesforce org. So we can work with any cloud on Salesforce, including Health Cloud, and that personalized patient experience of the inbound and outbound scheduling, you'll be able to see in our customer success story and demo today. So just some typical use cases that we see in HLS since we've been doing this for over 14 years. SUMO can improve customer and employee satisfaction in a variety of ways. So we always welcome a quick call to discuss any use case that you have for your customers, and we can vet out if SUMO is the right solution for you. So let's talk about what we came here to talk about, or let's talk about Umbo. So Umbo is one of our clients. They actually came to us to help with therapy sessions. So Umbo, even though Australia has a national healthcare system, they do have you do need to qualify for that to get the therapy that you need. So speech therapy, for example. Their mission basically is to provide those consults for to get the therapy that you need, but in that they also give back. So they represent all over Australia, and even in some of the rural areas, some of the parents and children are not able to afford the application to even get the speech therapy. So that's where they not only are serving the public, but also giving back to help those in need. So what they're doing with SUMO as far as the solution is that it's really saving them valuable time in booking recurring appointments. So they use telehealth, so it's virtual appointments. And some of the, like I said, some of the patients are located in rural areas and are not able to come to an office. So what they do there is use SUMO to book a series of meetings so that they have weekly, bi-weekly types of speech therapy appointments to make sure that their patients are served. So we're going to show you how that's done through the SUMO demo. So I'm going to log into Salesforce since all of SUMO is located within Salesforce. And one of the cool features that Umbo uses is our multi-calendar. So I wanted to start there. So on our multi-calendar, this is really an overall view for a scheduler to see what's been booked, and you can even scroll over and kind of see some details as far as a hover over goes as to what the actual appointments are. With that being said, if somebody is qualified, they've filled out they passed the application and they're able to schedule speech therapy appointments, what they do to save time here is they can actually pick a provider or even a resource pool of providers, which I'll show you. And from the calendar, they can book an appointment. So what this does is SUMO is going to bring up our instant booker. So with that, they can pick a type of appointment. So say speech therapy. We can color code this to really any color that you want. This can be hard coded, so it's always the same color. In the Umbo use case, it is video conference, but it could also be in person or even phone. And you can see, since I picked speech therapy, it automatically adds a duration to that appointment. You can have a pre and post buffer time if you need time to take notes, things of that nature. And what we can do here is we can actually look for a resource pool. So maybe we want a therapist resource pool. We don't know who is available and want to get the most out of the availability across the board. So we can look at a therapist resource pool, and then we can add the patient. So there's a couple ways that we can add the patient. We can actually add a new patient. That can be a contact person or lead account in your Salesforce org. And again, this is just going to bring up the same information that you already have configured in your Salesforce org as far as required fields and information. You can do it that way, or you can actually search for a specific person. So maybe Carrie patient, for example, we want to schedule with. So what we're going to do here is scroll down and see the availability of this resource pool. And what a resource pool is just a group of therapists. So say there's 10 therapists that we're picking from. It's going to show all the availability here on the calendar to give you the best dates and times to book the appointment. Now, in the Umbo use case, it is a recurring appointment. So if we wanted to go ahead and book this for maybe a recurring schedule on Monday and Wednesday, for example, we can do that. This could be bi-weekly if you wanted to. And then we can pick our start date. So maybe we want to start on the 19th and we want to schedule the next series, or we can actually, if there's like a date that the availability ends for these or a date that you want to end, you can pick that, or after a certain number of recurrences. We'll pick, say, six recurrences for this one, and then pick the time that we want to see if they're available on Monday and Wednesday, and we would generate the resource schedule. So here it's going to show using our traffic lights when the availability, and make sure that it works for all of the days that we've picked. So as you can see, we have the 6 recurrences for the next 3 weeks that we're booking the appointments for. You're able to add any kind of message. So maybe please join 5 minutes early, or whatever you would like to say here. It could be bring specific things to the meeting. Anything. You can upload files as well. The cool thing about uploading the files is that is also HIPAA compliant because everything's being stored in Salesforce. So if we go ahead and book this appointment, it's going to go ahead and show on the calendar, as you can see right here. So it picked Christian provider from the pool of resources that was available, and we can see all of these appointments are here. Another thing that a scheduler sometimes has to do is maybe on Wednesday something came up and they're not able to make it at 10 a.m. We can actually click into the appointment and go in and edit it from the calendar. And if we wanted to edit all the appointments, we could, or just this appointment. So we know Wednesday we can't make it at 10 a.m. We can actually look at Christian's schedule and move that to 11, for example, and then go ahead and update that appointment. This is going to send out all of the communications to let the patient know that we've moved this to 11, as well as let Christian know that this appointment is now at 11. And you'll see that updated here on the calendar as well. Perfect. So that's one of the use cases for Umbo as far as the way that they're using the scheduler. Another use case that came up as we were talking through the use case with them as well is, what if Carrie patient sends a cancellation? You know, she may not be able to make that appointment and just goes ahead and cancels it instead of rescheduling it, just because she wasn't aware of what the schedule was going to be, things came up, things of that nature. We can actually email an invite to Carrie. So with that, it's going to send an email directly to Carrie to schedule a speech therapy appointment. The cool thing here is that we can pick a date range for this. So if they rescheduled their appointment on the 19th or 21st, for example, we can have them schedule this between the 21st and the 23rd, because they already have an appointment scheduled on the 26th. So we can pick the dates and pick the 21st to the 23rd, and maybe we close a little bit early, maybe at 2 o'clock, for example, on the 23rd. So we want to go ahead and put that as 2 o'clock, and then we're open till 5 o'clock on the 21st. So we can really get down to the nitty-gritty and customize this invite that we're sending out. So it's only going to show the availability between those dates there. If it didn't matter what speech therapy they're meeting with, maybe it doesn't have to be a specific one. Again, we can add that resource pool. So it's going to look at, it's going to show the availability for all the resources that are available between those dates, and go ahead and send that invite out to Carrie patient to schedule that. So a really cool use case there. Another use case that can also be used is for that initial consultation. So maybe we've gone ahead and, we need an assessment. So we want to know what kind of speech therapy, how often we need it, what types of materials you may need, things of that nature. We can actually go ahead and schedule a initial consultation. Now, Umbo does use telehealth, so it would be video conference, but I also want to show you what we can do as far as meeting at a physical location. So if we pick our location in this case, this can actually pull up a map to show you the locations that are nearest you. It's actually pulling from your computer to know where you are with location settings, so that it's getting the location that's nearest you. You can also enter a city or state or postal code for that. But I can click into the map and see it a little closer, maybe, even though this one may be closer than the other, one has less traffic, for example. So we can go ahead and select our location. Another cool option that we can have as well is to filter. So maybe there's a certain skill, there's a gender, language, things like that we want to filter on. We can actually, maybe if somebody needed to speak Spanish, for example, we can filter down these users and you can select the person that you want to meet with. Maybe you've worked with Cassidy or David in the past and you want to pick Cassidy, for example. We can go ahead and do that. And this is going to show Cassidy's availability. So we can go ahead and book our appointment, maybe for 4 o'clock on the 15th. Go ahead and invite others. So if the parent needs to be present, or if the parent's booking on behalf of the child, things of that nature, you can invite others. You can also add any notes. So if there were any notes that needed to be added for this specific appointment, and all of this again is going to be stored in Salesforce. So we would gather some basic information. So we can have up to 10 fields here. So you can add additional information if you wanted mobile phone, maybe some sort of drop down, any kind of fields that you want to add to that contact or lead record, because that's what this is going to create. Now, another question that comes up often is, what if this person already exists? Well, we can match on different criteria. Email address is usually the go-to, but we could match on mobile phone number, for example, or things like that, so that we're not creating duplicates in your Salesforce or again, making a mess. So once we schedule our appointment, we would go in and you would get a confirmation email. This is all on the Salesforce record. So you'd be able to see all of the information there as well. And it's on the multi-calendar. So if we go back and look at Carrie Patient, for example, you'd be able to see all her past appointments and upcoming appointments, all right here in the activity in Salesforce. With that being said as well, we also have lots of reporting that's available. So you'd be able to look at the reports that, dashboards, reports, anything that, KPIs that you want to look at as far as, what's going on with SUMO in your org. So just as an example, we've actually you can actually tell which process somebody has used to book an appointment and see which one maybe you need to adjust. So maybe not many people are using your instant booker, for example, but they're using the online scheduler, and you may need to make some adjustments there as far as the customer journey goes. So we have all of that reporting available for you right here in your Salesforce org. Those are really the main use cases for the HLS industry. I definitely want to make sure that we have some time for Q&A and can kind of dig deeper into the demo. So I will go ahead and get back to our presentation here and go for the question and answer period.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Carrie. We do have a couple of really great questions in the chat. First up, Ryan says, my organization leverages a Salesforce partner community with our medical contractor group. Can SUMO pull in any scheduling capabilities from my Salesforce partner users?
That is a fantastic question. Absolutely. So that is a major advantage for us being built on the Salesforce platform. We can actually add that online scheduler, which would be iframed in your Salesforce community. So with that being said, we can let customers go ahead and sign up as a community user, any portal actually, and add that online scheduling process there. It would all link back. And we can also pass in some parameters so they wouldn't have to log in twice. So that's it's single sign-on as far as going into the Salesforce community and then going ahead and booking that appointment.
Awesome, thank you. We do have another question here. This one is from a Big Papa. It's coming in as Big Papa. I don't know who this is. Does SUMO use third-party connectors for calendars or Salesforce data transfer? And you don't have to take this one. I'll actually tackle this question. I love this question. It's a great question. On the data side, SUMO, like Carrie just said, is Salesforce native, which means that there's no clunky connector needed. So that means that appointment and contact related information is captured in real time, and there's no chance of data being lost during that transfer. The other part of your question about calendar connectors, SUMO has direct connection to GCal, Office 365, Exchange, iCal, and there's no connection needed. So that means that your appointments appear in real time right as they're booked, and that's great because that eliminates the potential for double booking or conflicts. I hope that answers the question. I do have another one here from Charlotte. Let's see, how does SUMO support the ability for front office administrators or clinic directors to manage, assign, reassign appointments? Can you answer that for us, Carrie?
Sure. So there's a couple ways that we can actually do that. So you can edit appointments from the multi-calendar. So you can assign, reassign those. You can also on the day view, you can actually move an appointment around. So if you needed to, for example, if I called in sick, for example, I could move, a scheduler could move my appointment from myself to another provider. So we can do that on the multi-calendar. You can also edit the appointment from the contact record. So lots of different ways to go in and edit the appointments, adjust times, adjust hosts, things like that. And the cool thing is with the video conference, we have a Zoom integration, we have a Teams integration, and with that, it's sending out a unique link. And with that as well, if you change the owner or change the host, you change the host of that appointment, it's going to go ahead and update that Zoom or Teams link so that you're getting the right information to join that telehealth call.
Awesome. So there's another question here, Carrie. Let's see. We kind of covered this a little bit, but I'd love for you to, if possible, expand on it. How does the availability engine work with Outlook?
Oh, great question. So SUMO has a direct connection to Exchange, Office 365, Google Calendar, even just the Salesforce calendar. So we have our proprietary calendar connector that will look at free busy time. So anything that's on your master calendar, which would be the Google Outlook or Salesforce, we would be able to see that as busy time and would not double book an appointment. That also goes for the Teams integration, as I spoke of as well. So with that, with Office 365, you can connect both so that everything is all aligned on both calendars. Also on our multi-calendar, it will show if it's a busy time, it's not going to show exactly what the appointment is. So as far as like privacy and things like that, if you had a doctor's appointment or a hair appointment or a vet appointment for your dog, for example, it's not going to write that back to Salesforce, but it is going to show that time is busy.
Gotcha. I think we have time for two more questions here, Carrie. Let's see. Is there a way for SUMO to control when someone or a patient can reschedule or cancel appointments?
Oh, great question. Yes, absolutely. So we do have the ability to have an advanced time to cancel, as well as an advanced time to reschedule. So you could set that if you don't want people to reschedule within 24 or 48 hours. It has, days, even down to the hour, to set those parameters. We can also have a custom message that is displayed. So it could say, for example, if it's a 24-hour window, let the customer know you're within that 24-hour window, so we can't reschedule. Please call us at this number, or something to that effect.
Awesome. Last question, Carrie, and as a marketing guy, I absolutely love this because it deals with part of what I work with on a day-to-day basis. How much control do I have over the look and verbiage of patient-facing materials in SUMO?
Fantastic question. So everything that, as far as communications that go out, we are using Salesforce email templates that are configurable so that you're able to put your brand on there, change the colors, the fonts, logos, things of that nature, as well as you could see on the online scheduler. So with that, we can, you can play around with it, you can update it. All of that's available in the admin settings. So really easy to use, really easy to self-administer those types of things within those admin settings in SUMO.
Thank you so much, Carrie. That's going to be our time for today. Thank you guys so much for jumping on this call. And thank you, Carrie, for sharing your time with us. It's been a pleasure. We look forward to seeing you guys again on our future webinars. If you guys want to look us up online and learn some more about SUMO, check us out there at that link, sumoscheduler.com, or you can find us on the Salesforce App Exchange. Also, feel free to contact us. You can book a free consult, again, at www.sumoscheduler.com. Or if you have any further questions, we're always happy to engage with you. You can reach us at experts@sumoscheduler.com. And again, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your time, and we will see you again on our next webinar. Have a great day, guys.